Center in Aspen Springs. Vanessa, Connor, and Tony are sent to Aspen Springs after all three teenagers attempt to commit suicide. Connor pulls the trigger, Tony takes the pills, and Vanessa cuts. Vanessa has a bipolar condition, much like her mother, who is one of the reasons Vanessa started cutting in the first place. She submits herself to the blade to try to rid herself of her inner demons, but is given a second chance at life in impulse. My arm throbs. I look at the bandage. A small red stain beginning to slither. Did I pop a stitch? Wouldn't that be luscious? The first cut wasn't the deepest. No, not at all. It was like all the others. A subtle rend of ancient skin, a gentle pulse of crimson, just enough to hush the demon shrieking inside my brain. But this time they wouldn't shut up. They just kept on howling like Mama when she was in a bad way. And the worst thing is, the older I got, the more I began to see how much I resembled Mama, falling in and out of the blue and then lifting up into the white. That day, I actually thought about howling. So I gave myself to the blade, asking it to bite a little harder, chew a little deeper. The hot scarlet rush felt so delicious, I couldn't stop there. The blade might have reached my bone, but my little brother Brian barged into the bathroom, found me leaning against Grandma's new porcelain tub, turning its unstained white pink. You should have heard him scream. I heard my brother scream, the cloud that had veiled my brain, coloring everything crimson. It seemed to last forever, that scream. Poor Brian. He's only 8. Too little to understand that dying isn't something to fear. It's a comfort. I felt comfortable dying that day, and would have, except Grandma happens to be a nurse, a good nurse, hard and wise, through and through, and she happened to be home. She calmly dialed 911, wrapped my arm in a soft yellow towel that looked ochre through the scarlet mist. I remember that, and I remember one EMT with blondish hair and a killer mouth, who refused to say anything except to his partner. I remember his eyes the most, brilliant blue and filled with disgust. Grandma rode with me in the ambulance, and the last thing I remember is telling her I was sorry for staining her new bathtub. Which is how I wound up here. Left hand stitched neatly back in place. They say it will heal nicely, but my fingers feel like they belong to someone else and don't want to be attached to me. Nothing does. I've been here about a week, I think, watching it snow, listening through the walls to other girls, sicker than I am. They talk about the things they've done, the things they want to do. Parents, teachers, counselors, so-called friends. They all better run when these sociopaths find their way back outside. After 2 weeks of being in Aspen Springs, Vanessa's allowed a visiting day with her grandmother for doing so well in therapy. Saturday, visiting day. Grandma's here somewhere. I'm on my way to see her. Half of me feels like I'm walking a high wire. The other half of me feels like I'm fighting my way through quicksand. I've missed her so much, but I don't want to disappoint her. I mean, I'm not exactly sane and sober. I'm definitely not ready to go back home, back to school, back to me. At the end of the hall, Dr. Starr shadows the doorway. She tells me my grandma is waiting inside the room. She's waiting just inside the door. Definitely a new wrinkle or two, but she's beautiful anyways. She hugs me into her and asks me how I've been. I gulp down guilt and ask her how Brian is. But I really want to ask her if bleach got the tub white, if Brian still has dreams bubbling red with blood. I want to ask her if she's gone to visit Mama, where no one wants to go. Thank you.